Hi students, welcome to the second lesson, main lesson 2 in integral. In the last class we have seen the definition of integrals, which is the reverse process of differentiation. And then we have derived the standard formula for algebraic, then trigonometric, inverse trigonometric, exponential and log. Now let us study today in this lesson algebra of integrals. So algebra of integrals. So first let me list. Say first rule is this addition rule. Integration of f of x plus g of x then dx. This is same as integration of f of x dx plus integration of g of x dx. So this is the first one. That means addition of two functions. If you want to integrate, then that is same as integration of the first function, integration of the second. Of course, you should know what is the integration of f of x and what is the integration of g of x. For example, suppose you want to find cos x plus say ex, then dx. So what you can do is, you can split them like this: integration of cos x dx, then integration of ex dx. Then you know integration of cos x is sin x and integration of ex is dx. Then last you can write c. C you have to write last. So this is addition. Same thing for the difference also. Actually I can write here only minus. Say integration of f of x minus g of x then dx. So this will be equal to integration of f of x dx minus integration of g of x dx. So there is no need to give for one more example. Here only if it is minus, this is minus. This is the addition rule, this is the difference rule. Third one is integration of alpha times f of x dx. So where alpha is a scalar constant, then you can take alpha outside, just like in differentiation. We have in differentiation also, if any constant is there, we have taken out. Same thing here also. Then you have to integrate integration of f of x dx. Say for example, integration of 3 sine x dx. Then we can take 3 outside, then integration of sine x dx, and this is 3 into minus cos x. Integration of sin x is minus cos x. So finally, of course, plus c we have to write minus 3 sin cos x plus c. So this is the answer. And scalar multiplication rule can be extended also. For example, alpha f of x plus beta g of x, if it is there, then you are integrating. So what you can do is alpha into, I will remove this one. So this you can write alpha into integration f of x dx plus beta into integration g of x dx. Of course, example is not necessary. I will give you the example later. This is generalization. Same way here, instead of two functions, suppose there are 3-4 functions, rule is same. Separately you have to integrate them. Same thing for difference also. So this is, first one is addition, second one is difference, third one is scalar multiplication rule. Now you may think, is there any product rule? Yes, product rule is there, but we don't call it as product rule. I am just mentioning here because that is a separate part. We have to wait a few more lessons, then only we can derive that one. The actually fourth one is this: integration of f of x into g of x dx. We don't call it as product rule, it is called integration by parts. This is a rule. I am just making a mention of this one here. Proof we shall see later. Say this is f of x into integration of g of x dx minus, then what you have to do is here differentiation of the first one, that is f dash x into integration of g of x dx. then we have to put a bracket, then integration. That is integration inside integration. So that is the rule. That's why it is called integration by parts. So let us not worry about this one. Let us see later. But I wanted to mention because some of you may be thinking that what about the product rule? Because in differentiation, addition rule, difference, scalar multiplication, product. So these are the four rules we studied. Here also it is there, but it is not called product rule. So that is for your information. Now let us prove the properties. Addition, subtraction is similar. Scalar multiplication also similar, but we will prove one or two. Let us take the first one. Say integration of f of x plus g of x, then dx. This we have to prove f of x dx plus g of x dx. Now let us go back to the definition. Let f of x and g of x be two real functions and capital F of x and g of x be two real functions in x belonging to I. That means it should be a common interval for both f and g, otherwise addition is not defined. So such that this is the relation. See, differentiation of d by dx of this capital F of x equal to small f of x and d by dx of capital G of x, this equal to small g of x. That means differentiation of f of x is small f of x, differentiation of this g of x is small g of x. Therefore what happens is integration of f of x dx will be f of x by definition because they are reverse process, and integration of g of x dx, this will be capital G of x. So this is the first assumption. Now you take this left hand side, you can show that it is right hand side. Now consider this one. See, what I do now is to prove this one, consider this. We have to show that this equal to this. But what I do is, I will take these two first. So, d by dx of f of x plus d by dx of capital G of x. This equal to given f of x plus g of x. So now, you know that in case of differentiation, if sum is given like this, then that is I can take d by dx common because addition rule is already we know for the differentiation. So this is f of x plus g of x, then this equal to f of x plus g of x, f of x plus. Now look here, differentiation of a function f of x plus g of x equal to this function implies by definition integration of this must be equal to this. Therefore I will write here, I will remove these things. So what we can do is, therefore by definition, this capital F of x plus capital G of x, this must be equal to integration of f of x plus g of x, then dx. Now look here, capital F of x is integration of f of x dx. Therefore here I can write, say this, even you can write 1 if you want. So this is integration of f of x dx plus integration of g of x dx, because capital F of x is integration of f of x dx, capital G of x is integration of small g of x dx. So this equal to f of x plus g of x then dx. So now of course you have to write in the reverse order because this is our left hand side, this is our right hand side. Therefore I can say we can say integration of f of x plus g of x then dx equal to integration of f of x dx plus integration of g of x dx. So this we can remember as a result. Sum of two functions of integration. Whenever you want to find, you can do it separately. Now let me take some example once again. And generalization is if instead of fg, if suppose there are three functions, it is also true. Say for example, we want to find say ex plus secant square x, say plus cos x then dx. So this will be equal to, so this is ex plus, first I have to write actually the property because it is beginning. So ex dx plus integration secant square x dx plus integration cos x dx. And c you need not write here separately. After the integration you can write one common c actually. So this is ex, this is tan x, and integration of cos x is sin x. So sin x plus c, this is the result. And same proof you can also do for minus, because instead of plus you have to take minus, you get the answer. So this is the first addition, then difference. Now let us also take the proof of scalar multiplication. So there is third one, integration of alpha f of x dx, this equal to alpha times f of x dx. This we have to prove. Similar to differentiation. Now same thing, let f of x and capital F of x be two real functions in x belonging to I, that is important in I, such that so d by dx of this f of x, this equal to small f of x. Then by definition integration of f of x dx will be capital F of x. So this is definition. Now we have to prove this one. Now consider this. Consider d by dx of alpha f of x. Sorry, capital F of x. So instead of this, we are taking alpha times. This will be equal to alpha, because we know the property of differentiation, d by dx of capital F of x, taking constant outside because of the properties of differentiation. So, but what is d by dx of capital F of x? D by dx of capital F of x is small f of x. So this is alpha times small f of x by definition. Therefore, now let us integrate this one. When you integrate this, this becomes alpha by definition once again. Therefore, alpha f of x will be equal to integration of alpha f of x dx by definition. Let me repeat, because differentiation of this function equal to this function means integration of this function must be equal to this function. So now, what is capital F of x? You can see here it is alpha. Alpha times integration f of x dx. This equal to integration of alpha f of x dx. Or you can write it in the reverse order because this is left hand side. Alpha f of x dx will be equal to alpha times f of x dx. So this is the proof. Now we can generalize instead of one function. Suppose there are many functions, say alpha and beta, two constants, and the f and g, two functions. Then you can remember this alpha f of x plus beta g of x. Suppose this is given, then dx. Then we can directly say alpha into integration f of x dx plus beta into integration g of x dx. So this is the rule. So let us work out a few questions to make ourselves familiar with this. Let me take a few examples. Using this property, sometimes these properties may be say mixed also, that is alpha f of x beta g of x also, both scalar multiplication in addition. The first example, let's take integration of 3x square plus 4x cube plus 5x4 say dx. I have taken three functions instead of two. So the rule is same. So this will be equal to, see, you can use this property directly. Alpha f of x plus beta g of x. Whenever this, you can use directly this property instead of writing two steps. Alpha into integration f of x dx plus beta into integration of g of x dx. So this is it. Therefore, you can write this equal to 3 into integration x square dx plus 4 into integration x cube dx plus 5 into integration x4 dx. So I am using this property. You can also do one more step if you want. This integration separately, this integration separately, this integration, that is addition rule. Then scalar multiplication rule, taking constant. Both are one and the same. So you can cut short one step if you use this property. So this now 3 into integration of x square is x cube by 3. Integration of x cube is x4 by 4. Integration of x4 is x5 by 5 plus c. And if you have confusion, note this one. X cube dx will be equal to x power 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1, because integration xn dx, it is x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. Therefore here 3 means 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1. 2 means 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1. 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1. 4 plus 1 by 4 plus 1. So final answer is here 3 cancels, 4 cancels, 5 cancels. So x cube plus x4 plus x5 plus c. And c we have to add common. So this is the answer. Now let us take next example. Integration of integration of x power 3 by 2 plus 2ex plus 1 by x then dx. So here also there are three functions. So this equal to, first we can write integration x power 3 by 2 dx plus 2 outside integration ex dx plus integration dx by x. And here 3 n is 3 by 2, therefore of course it is a fraction. So what you have to do is x power 3 by 2 plus 1 by 3 by 2 plus 1, then plus 2 into ex plus this is log mod x formula plus c. Of course this you can simplify, 2 by 5 x power 5 by 2 plus 2ex plus log of mod x plus c is the answer. So second example. Now let us take a few more examples. Say integration of third one, integration of x cube minus 1 by x square dx. Remember, there is no quotient rule in integration. So there is nothing like f of x by g of x. We have to deal with only addition, subtraction and integration by parts. So what we can do is, this we can split like this. See, x cube minus 1 by x square can be written as x cube by x square minus 1 by x square, then dx. And this we can write x cube by x square is x minus this we can write x power minus 2. It is always better in the beginning to write the given x in terms of exponential form, so that using formula becomes easy. So this is integration of x dx, then minus integration of x power minus 2 dx. So first one is x square by 2, because it is power 1, x power 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 1, minus here also x power minus 2 plus 1 by minus 2 plus 1. So this is x square by 2, and here it becomes plus, because minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1. So then x power minus 1, of course, plus c we have to add. So this is the integration. Now let me take one more example and then conclude. See, fourth example is integration of x cube minus x square plus x minus 1 by x minus 1 dx. So this seems to be a complicated expression actually, but if you look closely, this can be simplified. See, this we can write integration now. Suppose you take x square common here, it is x square into x minus 1 plus, I will put a bracket here, x minus 1 divided by x minus 1, then dx. See, here what happens is, you can take x minus 1 common. So x minus 1 common in the numerator, then it becomes x square plus 1 divided by x minus 1 dx. So this is nothing but x minus 1 and x minus 1 you can cancel. Integration of x square plus 1 dx. Of course, this we can write x square dx plus 1 dx. So this will be x cube by 3 plus, what is integration of 1 dx? So this you have to remember, 1, I have already told you this one, is x power 0 dx, and x power 0 dx is 0 plus 1 by 0 plus 1. Of course, this is x, and also differentiation of x is 1. So this is x plus c. So this is the answer. So let me conclude today, because we have taken the property with a few examples. First property is addition property, second one is difference, third one is scalar multiplication. So let me sum up. First one is f of x plus g of x dx, of course I have to put a bracket here, equal to integration of f of x dx plus integration of g of dx. First property. Second, you can write here only, there is no need to write separately. Second property is alpha f of x dx. This is alpha f of x dx. And generalization is this one, integration of alpha f plus beta g, then dx. this equal to alpha integration f dx plus beta integration g dx. Here f g means f of x and g of x. So this also you can remember. So these are the three important results which you have to remember. Based on this we have to integrate. Of course, for integration by parts we have to wait a little bit because it is given in the end. So proof is also there, integration by parts, and there are some connected theorems. So that we shall see later. Till then, bye, take care.